Let's create a brand new React Native project for our TargetSum game. We'll start with React init TargetSum. cd TargetSum and React Native run iOS. When the command is done, we should see the packager running. We should see the React Native template application running in the simulator. Let me now run Atom here and start changing things. The first thing I want to do is create a new folder under TargetSum. We call this source folder. And inside this source folder, we'll build our complete application and put all the React Native components in there. And let's create a new folder under source. Call this folder components. And inside components, I'll create a new file and call this file app. So this is my top level app component. And this is going to be a regular React class component. I'll name this component app and import it as default. You'll notice that I used a snippet here to bring in the template code for a React component. If you're using Atom and you want to use my exact snippets, they're part of my .files repo on GitHub. Let's make a very simple app component. We'll need to import a few things from React Native. Anything you do in a React Native application is part of the React Native library. So let's go ahead and bring in the view component and the text component and use those. So here's my view, and inside the view, we'll put a text and put a placeholder text in there. Okay, so this is looking good. I'm exporting this. So in index.ios.js, instead of all this, in fact, except the last line, I'm going to delete everything, and I'm going to import app from the same level here, source components / app, and I'll just use app here. So I only need the app registry from React Native. So let's import that. Import app registry from React Native. And I'll do the exact same thing in index.android.js because this is the entry level for Android applications as well. And I want all of them to read the exact same thing from here. Okay, so if everything works, the template should go away and I should see my TargetSum text in there. So Command R. And it's not working. So it could not resolve TargetSum source components app. Did I misspell that? Yes, I did. So it's components, missing an N in here. Reload. And you should see the TargetSum container text right here in the corner. But we know that things are working. In fact, let's not have a text at all. Let's just give our container a background color so that we know that we have an empty container to work with. So we'll do a style in here. And although you can use background color in here directly, it's usually better to do all the styling through the React Native style sheet create function. So instead of that, we'll have a styles.say container variable. And this container variable is going to be defined on the style sheet that comes with React Native. So we'll do const styles equal style sheet dot create, and then in here we'll give it an object. It's just one argument, an object of all the properties of the styles that we want. So we want a container property, and in here we define the styles. For example, background color. Let's just go with a simple gray color and give the whole view a flex of 1 so that it stretches across the whole screen. And let's go ahead and test that. Now we have a gray background color for an empty container in this simple React application. Now, the advantage to using stylesheet.create versus doing this directly with JavaScript object is that if you come here and you do a wrong CSS property, let's, for example, say that you did FLX instead of flex. Just an honest mistake. But if you do this through regular JavaScript object, this will probably be ignored. While in React Native, you will actually get a very clear error that FLX is not a valid stylesheet property, and it gives you a list of all the valid stylesheet properties at that point. So if we don't use stylesheet.create, say that we do that directly through an object, let's see the difference. We don't really get a very clear error that we used an invalid stylesheet property, although React Native still gives you a warning here. But I like to see an error if I use something wrong in the styles that I'm doing.